Hello again YouTube, Enzo back bringing you another video review, and today it is a turn of Toyworld's Infinitor. If you remember from my Cubra review, I gave you the option of either Infinitor, Ultra Magnus or Vola from France Project, their take on Swoop. I didn't get any comments, so I was a minute what to do. Kapow Toys had a flash sale where Infinitor was reduced down from £84 down to under 50. Couldn't resist it, couldn't say no, and to be honest with you, this is the one that I personally wanted to do, so I'm glad I got him. So here he is. Right, before we take a look at Infinitor, a lot of people do this, so I think I've got to do it, I'll do it myself. This is the box that he comes in, and it's a pretty big box if I'm totally honest with you. Very, very big, but I don't mind. The artwork on this is very, very, very cool. You bring it out the side here, you can see that this version of Infinitor has two base modes. That's the one that Toyworld have given him, and down there is the original and faithful. Come around to the back here and you can see that there's another picture of him in robot mode. Headbot is his name, but we'll call him Cerebros or Spike, whatever you would like to name him. And down the bottom here we have a picture of him in Battleship. And then just on the side here we've got just a black and white picture of him as well. But the artwork on this is absolutely cool. And boxes like this I do like to keep, just in case I want to sell him in the future. I hope not, but you never know. And obviously in the box you get obviously a nice big styrofoam container which is sandwiched in, and you get a sticker. Stickers, I haven't pulled them out yet, I'm not going to be honest with you. So you get a sticker, you get a stat card, and you get the instructions. But he's really easy to transform. You know, I'm not going to open it, I'm not going to bother. So that's the box, as Emgo does. Sorry, don't sue me. Quick comparison. Let's bring in a fellow headmaster. This is Brainwave, based on one of the characters from the Headmaster series. So you can see this is a good size Voyager. He's slightly bigger than a Voyager. He's big and beefy. Very good. Let's bring in another Headmaster. Let's bring in Fans Project's take on the same character. And you know, for the love of me, I cannot remember their names. I really can't. But you can see three different figures there, and you can see basically Fans Project, Toyworld. So there we go. Let's pull these off to the side for a minute, and we'll get a good look at Infinitor. For those of you who don't know, Infinitor is a scaled down version of G1 Fortress Maximus. This is what the toy is based off. Obviously smaller. The original G1 was 22 to 23 inches tall. You're talking 2.5 feet, 2 foot, something like that. Absolutely a monster. I at the moment of this recording, I'm still trying to find one, and I'm determined to get my hands on one, because this figure has made an impression on me, and I want the big one. I want the daddy, and hopefully I will find one in the next few weeks. So, as I said, Infinitor is a headmaster, so we'll just pop his head off. So this is what you would call Cerebros in the G1. So we'll just get a good zoom in there now. There we go. So you've got a really nice painted head sculpt. I should mention that there's another version of this figure called Grant, which is all different colours, or the Grand Maximus, and he has a sticker sheet. I really don't like that figure. I don't. To me, this figure was the better option. So you can see there, the eyes are painted or plastic, and they're silver on the mouth and the head crest. It just looks really, really cool. That is Fort Max, and obviously just to transform him, just flip him over, untab his feet, put the feet around, and there we have Cerebros in robot mode. One addition that they've made to this headmaster, and I can show you, I can compare it now to the other one. Basically what they've done is they've given him an elbow joint, like that, as where the other ones were just solid arms, so it looks like he's just going yeah. So I know he's going yeah about, but obviously he's a happy man. So still annoyed that the fact that they've made no attempt to hide the face at all. And it would be nice if they had a panel or something to fold it, but he's just a robot with a big upside down face on his back. I'm not a huge fan of that, but okay, that's Toyworld for you. And on this version of Infinitor, obviously everything is nice and painted. So you got his legs are cast a different plastic. Got red here, you got red on the abdomen. There's two little dots of yellow on his face there to pick out his eyes, and a little bit of paint has chipped off the front there, I think. But still, it's a really cool figure. So I'll just plop him. Where do we go? Well, now that I got him out, one play feature that comes in, I'll show it off quickly. Not my favourite. These two compartments here, you can open up and you can actually fit headmasters in there. To be honest, I haven't tried this gimmick yet, so I'm just going to bring back Brainwave. As you can see, you just basically unfold them, fold the legs like that, and you can see there that basically it's a solid piece there. On Cerebros there, they've got the elbow joint. So what you're able to do is get him in a seating position. A lot of reviewers have tried this. It doesn't always work. If you try and fit him in there like that, you can fold him down, and yeah, you can actually fit him in there. Again, a really good additional play gimmick if you want to use that kind of thing. I don't really bother, but it's there if you want to use it. There we go. I'll just leave him off the side for a second, and I'll leave Cerebros off to the side. So first of all, we get into articulation. Take his blaster. Oh, well, I got it. It just comes with one weapon. This is it. This is his blaster. Very nice. I do like this. I like the gun. It's detailed moulding. They've coloured it. The red. It looks absolutely menacing. That is cool. Not that Fort Max ever used a handheld blaster. Not that I can remember. But if he did, flippin' heck, this would be one hell of a gun. Absolutely cool. I do like that gun very much. So being a scaled down version of Fort Max, he has a ton of new articulation that the other figure just did not have. So first of all, oh wait, I've done it again. Another additional play gimmick that they got. If you just fold this red piece down like that. Let me just put Cerebros back into head mode. And the good thing about this is what they've done now, another feature what they've added that they didn't add to the other figure, was you have two little tabs there. You just tab them together, which hold the legs a lot more securely. They still move around a bit, but in tandem, they look pretty cool. So obviously, as you insert the headmaster like that, you get, if I can bring it closer for you to see, and then you just push that down. I'm hoping you can see it there. You've got little stats there, not stats really, but you've got the colours green, blue and red, like a sort of power up gimmick when the headmasters do combine, and it can swivel around like that, and the tumbler inside does turn with it as well. It's okay, but obviously you're not going to get much use out of that. So right, let's go for articulation. As you just saw, the head goes forward and back. That's it. The arms. Sorry, was I in the way? Yes. As you can see there now, the arms can rotate. They can go all the way around. And on the original Fort Max toy, these were basically locked to the back of the arms. You couldn't move them. Thankfully now these are on a hinge, so they can move and they can get out of the way. So that's a nice bit of, let's put that up and put that flush. So that's a nice feature as well. You can bend at the elbow. Actually, he has a double bend there. You've got a ratchet there and a ratchet there. So you can bend that far, use the other elbow, other joint to bring it up like that. Again, pretty cool. Bring it down. He has a bicep swivel, so you can move like that. And this is the part that really scares me. You can go that far, but those joints are really stiff. You're going to have to apply a bit of force to those. So and trying to get it back is a pain. I'm just trying to be so careful. There we go. Same again on the other side. He has a waist articulation, so you can do a full 360 because basically there's nothing stopping him going. And he's on a nice clickety ratchety joint, so that's another plus. And this is the part I'm really afraid of, are basically the legs, because these are on really stiff ratchets. So you can bend out like that. You can bend out to the side, basically all the way if you wanted to. And then he has a lower thigh swivel, and he has a good ratchet joint there at the knee, so you can bend his knee. Let's move the box out the way. and Brainstorm is just falling off the side of the table. Yeah, like that, and you could just bend the knee all the way up like that, so a really good 90 there. And on the G1 toy, or on the original G1 toy, you could only go like that for spaceship mode, but basically he's got like a dislocating ankle tilt there, so you can get this figure into some really, really cool poses. So with all his increased posability and all the new joints, Fort Max is absolutely stunning. I'm going to try and recreate for you now one of the famous poses of Fort Max. So we'll just bring out all these. Basically what I'm trying to do with the bottom legs there, because out of shot there, is just bring out all the cannons. He's got 2 cannons in the legs. He's got 1 on the side there. Get his arms out of the way. He's got these 2 massive waist cannons on the side, like that. If I have to complain about anything on this figure at the moment, I would say these cannons maybe it might be a little bit too small for him, personally, but you know, it's okay. I'm not complaining. And then you flip out these panels on his forearms, like that. Come on, I got you. And then you've got small little guns, if I can just grab hold of them. 1 and 2 in there, like that. And that is Fort Max. That is a really cool sight with all his guns. The only weapons that are missing at the moment are the knuckle guns on the palm of his hands. I can totally forgive it because of the size of the figure, but still cool. And then we'll just put that blaster in there like that. So yeah, Fort Max, that is an impressive sight, even at this scale, even at this size. That is a very, very impressive Fort Max. I like it. So with all so far, so good. Absolutely fantastic. Love him to pieces. Right, so let's get him into spaceship mode. That'll be the easiest thing to do first of all. So first thing we'll do, pop Cerebros off, put him to the side. And another feature about Fort Max, that's an improvement on the original. You fold down these panels like that, you can fold his hands away. You couldn't do that on the other one. Really, really cool. Nothing worse than having alt modes with massive hands sticking off the sides. So again, cool. Very good feature there. So once you've got his fists away, you need to line everything up so it's like that, and then come to the back then and make sure these panels are fitting flush to the back of his forearms. You don't always want to tab. There are a few issues that things aren't tabbing because they're the wrong sizes or they're slightly off. But again, bit of sandpaper, bit of time, a little bit of tweaking, you can get it to do what you want. And then you bring up the arms like that to get them out of the way. Take the cannons, bring them back. Turn the figure around, untab what will be the cockpit from the back of his shoulders. Swing the cockpit around like that. Bring these around like that. And this is the part I don't like. If something's going to break, this is where it's going to break, because you've got to tab all these together, and you can see how small these little plastic red tabs are, and they've got to go into these holes on the side. I've only transformed him twice since I've had him, and every time I do this, I'm scared something's going to break. So just beware. If something is going to break, it's going to be these. So what I do first of all is I bring them up like that. I line everything up, try and tab everything together, squeeze everything together, and again they've got to be tabbed in there like that. So just squeeze everything together, and then fingers crossed. There we go. So that's the cockpit done, and I'll just transform Cerebros here, ready to put in the cockpit. So I'll leave him like that. Then you want to bring this grey piece up and out of the way, and then all you do then, hold his feet, push him down like that. Make sure everything is tabbed down. And my camera is refusing to cooperate with me. Thank you very much. There we go. So bring him down like that, put Cerebros into the cockpit, close up the canopy, and an extra feature again. Now, like that, he's pretty sturdy. Now, that is basically his G1 battleship mode, and that is replicated to a T. That is Fort Max in scaled down version. You see what I mean? these ramps are meant to tab in. You've got a little slot there. That slot is meant to tab into that, but it doesn't always want to go. But when it does tab, this is where this panel is meant to come up for the fists. So there's not a lot of clearance there. So again, what I think I'll do after this review, and if it's worked, I'll do an update video how to tweak it, or basically where you need to cut and where and how much you need to cut to obviously get a really good snug fit. Like I said, one extra feature that they've added, you can see there's a slot there. This little panel can fold out and tab into these slots, so so he's not going to sag. But to be honest with you, they're so heavy, the ratchets are so heavy and they're so good on this, it's not going anywhere anyway. So again, you don't really need them, but I thought I'd better show it off just in case. And he does have wheels at the bottom, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you do wish so, you could roll. It doesn't really roll that good. Let me just take the gun, obviously, because the gun goes there. But that is that is a near on perfect representation of his battleship mode. I think it's cool, absolutely cool. Very, very. It's basically it's a G1 Fort Max that you can play with, that you can basically, you know, scale down version. Why would you not want this figure? Flip. I've waited years for this, waited years to get my hands on the Fort Max, and so far, so good. I'm not disappointed, but I'm still going to get the big one. I'm still going to get a big one. Okay, so from here now, we are going to go into, I'm not going to show off his other city mode. I want to do that. I haven't really done that yet. I want to do that in a separate review, because there's a couple of things I want to try. So I'm just going to do the third city mode now. So we'll just take that off for a second. And basically what you want to do is just leave everything there as it is. And for this bit, where did I put it now? Yes. For this bit, you will need a screwdriver or some object, because some of the stuff you need to open is a pain in the butt. Trust me, that's going to come in very handy. So the first thing we're going to do is basically bring his legs down. No, sorry, they need to go up like that. Bring the leg out just to give yourself clearance, and you can see now basically what's going to happen are the legs are going to accordion into these panels here. Now on the original Fort Max, you didn't have these panels. These have been added to, again, this is an upgrade to the design, so you can just flip that out, and they are on a double hinge, and they're meant to tab in and fit nice and flush between there. For some reason mine don't want to. I'm trying to fold it over as best I can. They fit, they tab in, but I wouldn't call that flush, but okay. And then you rotate them at the thigh like that all the way around, and then you basically collapse, fold that panel up obviously, and you basically collapse the leg into itself, fold the foot up, just collapse everything in like that, and then just fold that away, put that to the side. Same again on this leg, bring it out, give yourself some room, grab hold of the panel, flip it down, double hinge so it folds nicely like that, and you need to bring this leg all the way down. Basically you want to make sure, because the first time I transformed him, I thought I knew best obviously, and I had the legs pointing the other way, and these were, it was way out, looked stupid. So just remember, these panels have to be facing down. Then rotate them at the thigh and accordion everything in, push it in, don't be afraid to give it a bit of force, and there we go. He's tabbed in there like that. That is like that. Bring him down, and this is where the screwdriver comes in handy, because you need to go under here and you need to get out this red ramp. I've tried with my nails, can't do it. Down like that, and then you need to untab both ramps, bring them down like that, and again things come loose, things don't really tab together well in this mode, which is a pain, but again it's okay. Like that, you can bring up these little smokestacks or cannons, whatever you want to call them, and then just bring in the gun, tab it there to the side, and there we have it. That is Fortress Maximus in city mode, and I have to agree with fellow reviewers, this is the base mode that I think this mode lets him down the worst, if you know what I mean, because you can see there now the ramps don't tab to the arms, there's a really big gap there. If I lift the figure up, you can see the red ramp is pointing slightly down, so it's keeping the figure up. If you have the arms dead straight like that, you know, and tab like that, the ramps are more or less near vertical, so, you know, minor little nitpicks, but you know what, I really don't care, because I go for the visual, and I still think this is a really good, I think this is a really good set. I think it's cool. Fantastic. Now what you should do in the instructions is you lift this up like that and fold it in like that, so you've got like little smokestacks and things. No, I don't like that. I prefer to fold that down, have it like that, have it out like that, so it sort of replicates the fact that he's got landing gear. He's got a helipad. So that's pretty cool. And I do happen to have some little mini cons. So I'll just put these about the place now, so you can see scale wise, I think for mini cons, not too bad. Not bad at all. So if you wanted to, you could have it raised like that, and you could have the jet like so. You could have the helicopter landing like that, fire truck, about his daily business. You've got the tank, the car. On the original Fortress Maximus, you were able to launch these up. It's the same on both sides. Both red pieces of plastic do move. However, there's a lot of friction there. There's a lot of resistance there. So I'm hoping it's just plastic, you know, that I can just get a knife and just get in there and just try and squeeze it out a little bit. But again, really, really cool. They're trying to keep as close to the G1 as they can. Do miss the fact that there should be an Autobot symbol there. I'm hoping to get an Autobot symbol from my Reprobables kit and just put it there, cut it down the middle so it looks okay. I think a bit more paint around here really would have made the figure pop a bit more. But again, it's cool. It's a mini Fort Max. It's a mini Fort Max, and I absolutely adore it. It is fantastic. What else was I going to show you now? You can open this up if you wanted to, but it doesn't really do anything in this mode. The chest compartments do open. You can get hold of them, and that's my little puppy dog. Quiet, please. Thank you. I'm reviewing. So you can bring them up like that if you want to add a little extra bulk. But again, pretty cool for a tiny Fort Max. Obviously they've had to make some compromises, like obviously the little gimmick now of the there should be, if I turn to the side, there should be a little elevator in there, and then because they've still modelled the little crank in the corner, you can see that little tiny thing on his waist now, itty bitty tiny crank, little red crank. Trust me, it is there. And then you would wind that up, you would pull the figure out, and he'd be able to press a button and he would shoot out this section. But as I said, finger, you need a screwdriver, so he has what's called the jail cell or steps, so there's that. And then on the side you're then a repair bay if you wanted to, and you can also flip out these cannons if you so wanted. And Cerebros is still in there. So yeah, again, there is a lot of playability with this set, and I think it's great. Yeah, I don't like particularly this city mode. There are a few issues and things like that, but again, I like it. And for the price, I wouldn't pay the full price. Like I said, I got this from Kapow Toys the other day, flash sale, 50 quid. I think he's worth that price tag, considering what he can do. He's got 4 modes, and the spaceship mode and the robot mode, absolutely solid in both modes. I'm going to have a play with the 4th mode now to see if I like that, and I'll report you back on that. City mode, this isn't exactly my favourite because it's got a few little issues I think could have been improved. What I would have liked to have seen is if we could have had a sort of like a slide mechanism, so the arms could go down, so all this is City of Flesh, because I think if this part here was a little bit lower, you see what I mean? Like that. If the arm came down to there, and this was flush on the floor, and these tabbed in a little better, and the ramps were slightly longer, then it would be better proportion. And what I would have done is also I would have maybe lost one of these seat compartments and actually have that fold out. I mean, I can't see why they couldn't have put a hinge in there or a hinge in there, and they could have had one and then two, and they could have had another bit, you know, they could have done it like that. But I suppose, you know, cost and things like that, you know, it's easy to criticise once we've got the figure in hand. Oh, I would have done it like this, I would have done it like that. But again, I'm really happy with Infinitor. I think he's brilliant. A really good purchase. But like I said, I wouldn't pay the full price. I would not pay the full price. If you can get him cheap, then that's the way to go. As I said, Kapow Toys, I do believe that the sale is still on. If he doesn't have Infinitor, I know for a fact they still have a few grants about, which is basically just a different colour scheme and you get a huge sticker sheet. But there are things available, and there are other things that you might fancy as well. But yeah, so thank you very much. Please comment, rate and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed my review on Toyworld's Infinitor, aka Fortress Maximus, and please stay tuned. Hopefully Ultra Magnus will be out now in the next week or so. He's on pre-order with me. Can't wait to get my hands on that, so probably that'll be the next review. And Volar Fans Project Take on Dinobot Swoop, that'll probably come towards the end of this month. So again, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed. Please comment, rate and subscribe. Diolch yn fawr, and I will see you all next time. Ta-ra.